2024 Barcelona, the record Mr. Bayern Munich is coming for you this Halloween. Barcelona facing Bayern Munich and Barcelona are winning. And what is this red mask monster doing in my stream? Get the hell out of here. Every time I'm going to watch the matches, these monsters with red mask and the black mask or the white mask are just disrupting. Don't believe in them, guys. Don't believe in them. Brazilian youngster and the superstar in the making, Estevao, has broken the record of Neymar, the legendary from Brazil, wherein Estevao has scored for Palmeiras on a thumping 5-3 win against Juventus. So they are just 1 point behind Palmeiras. What is in the making of this Brazilian kid? The youngest player ever to play in the Champions League was from Borussia Dortmund, and he is that player whose name is Youssoufa Moukoko, who is on Zenit for a loan. But yes, prior to this, the youngest player was Lamine Yamal, who made it at 16 years and 83 days. But Moukoko has broken this with the record of 16 years and 18 days. So a margin of just 25 odd days had Moukoko being the youngest Champions League player ever to play. Inter Milan manager Simone Inzaghi has his concerns over the plastic synthetic pitch which the young boys are playing for in this game. In the fixture against Inter Milan, they will be going 2 young boys to play this. Yes, Inzaghi has told the reports that they are getting accustomed to play on these types of synthetic pitch. AC Milan, after their 3-1 victory over Club Brugge, where their manager Paulo Fonseca, the new one for this season, has just suggested that these super subs Noah Okafor and Chukwueze are decisive for them as they have got those winning goals against Club Brugge in the Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain captain as well as the elite defensive centre-back Marquinhos has lamented his side's lack of efficiency after playing out a 1-1 draw against PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League on Tuesday. So PSG is also having a little bit of backstrain with the critical schedules of the Champions League. Manchester United has held shock talks with Xavi, the Premier Elite Barcelona player as well as the manager for 3 years. Xavi was sacked by Barcelona, but he is in talks with Manchester United being the next manager. But yes, Erik ten Hag is still adamant about this position is not uncertain, and he still believes of his trust with Sir Jim Ratcliffe or the Ineos. Lille has again given the setback to the La Liga Roja Blancos Atletico Madrid, defeating them with a margin of 3-1, and Jonathan David has scored twice in this game. But before this, Lille also surprised the Los Blancos with a win over them at their home. So Lille is up for the Champions League. Federico Chiesa, who had a whooping transfer of 10 million this summer to Liverpool, is under bench and has just played once for Liverpool. But Arne Slot is still backing that yes, Chiesa will make his first lineup in the squad very soon. But most of the times, Chiesa is being seen just on the benches, not making it up to the lineup. Manchester City, putting 5 goals past Sparta Prague, has just topped the unbeaten record of the European League, where they are 26 games unbeaten, and they have overtook the record of the Red Giants Manchester United. Prior to this, United had a 25 goals streak win in the European Elite League, as well as in the number 3rd was Bayern Munich with 19 games to win in the streak. But yes, City are now the highest with 26 games unbeaten. Guys, welcome back to another episode with FC RAMSAY. And yes, the talk of the town is that Bayern Munich, the record mister, the douche mister, has lost to Barcelona in the past 12 years. This was an unbeaten thing to believe that the Munchen are going to lose against the Catalans. But yes, this time things folded quite sadistic and quite depressing for Vincent Kompany, who was there to face Hansi Flick, the former club manager as well as the World Cup winner for the Demon Chef. Here Barcelona, talking straight into the game, was just having a very good tactical gameplay where their defensive lineup was too strong for Bayern Munich. But yes, Bayern Munich under Kompany going with those 2-4-4 formations or the 3-3-2 formations in the build-up was quite aggressive, and Hansi Flick had just turned this into his own side. So it was Hansi Flick who just turned the games for Vincent Kompany, just talking about his own aspects and making the gameplay feel with his high centre back lineup. So here the headline makers and the storyliners are from year to year and everywhere that the Champions League this midweek between Bayern Munich and the Barcelona was going to be elite. But yes, both the teams are dominant in their leagues where Bayern Munich are at the top of the table in the Bundesliga, as well as Barcelona are at the top of the table in the La Liga. But the most aspiring fact was that Barcelona had a defeat in the Champions League prior to this, and as well as Bayern Munich had a defeat in the Champions League in the same season. But yes, the re-energized teams and the association of Robert Lewandowski, where Hansi Flick has just made him a pool center forward, and also the 12 in 10 domestically winning games with Barcelona, he was having that killer touch, and in front of the goal, he was looking quite lethal. But yes, the build-up is definitely arguably the best which Hansi Flick has developed in Barcelona, and despite of so many injuries in the team, Rafinha, Lepin Memal and Lewandowski doing those edge moments for the Barcelona in this game was quite impressive. But yes, there was a 3.5 goals per game for Bayern Munich, whereas the same was that of 3.3 goals for Barcelona this season in the Champions League as well. But yes, Vincent Company is yet to prove himself that efficient, because he is a new signing and he has not been that significant with his former clubs. But yes, the returning of Xavi and Frankie de Jong has given the Catalan the outfit and the options to control the game. And yes, 26 big chances so far for them in this league, and with an average of 3.7, Barcelona are at a 50, equating to a 5 match. So that is definitely a good aspect. But talking about Bayern Munich, they are also at 17 points with 7 games played in the league. So ultimately, this new format of the Champions League, where the teams are going to face each other just once, is certainly you need to have those best attacks. And Vincent Company has been trying to mold Bayern Munich into these same formations for the Champions League, as well as in the Bundesliga, as well as in the DFB Pokal. But Flick might be looking to put a marker down in this game, because he was that efficient. Talking about the lineups and the goals which happened, we will come to it detailed review of this, what happened in this game. So yes, Barcelona with that lineup of Balde, who is back from a long injury, as well as Martinez and Kubrasi in the build-ups of the center backs, was from Barcelona. So just have a look at the lineup over here. This is what is Hansi Flick stuck to it, but he brought in Casado as well as Pedri in the midfields. Pedri was doing the midfield jobs quite good, whereas Rafinha and Lamine Yamal were the two wingers who were going too lethal in the counter attacks, and dropping down off Yamal as well as Rafinha to the inverted backs were also playing those defensive moments in this game. But Lewandowski, most of the times he was seen in the attacks, and he was just trying to find the spaces in between Upamecano and Kim Min-jae, whereas the right backs and left backs were that of Guerrero and Davis for Bayern Munich, and they were stuck to the 4-2-3-1. So this formation of gameplay for both Bayern Munich as well as Barcelona, they were stuck to, were quite offensive, and with the likes of Olise and Gnabry as the wingers, though Gnabry is back with an injury and Olise is the new upcoming rising star from the Les Blues, and Didier Deschamps is, despite having him in the team, missing Antonio Griezmann and Kylian Mbappe, but that is a different issue. But yes, Olise being the star kid in this team didn't have that stint performance, and he was man-marked by Casado and Balde as well as Martinez too well in this team. So looking at how things turned up, Harry Kane being the center forward had many chances, and he was doing those jobs quite well, especially in the first half. And he, with the one goal in this game for the Munchen, the record mister against Barcelona, was the best player of the game. But yes, talking about the goals which happened, lot more to say about this game. So just in the starting, look at this position where Bayern Munich had just started with that free kick from Manuel Neuer, and the lineup of the likes of centre backs of Barcelona were looking quite lethal, where Balde, Martinez, Kubrasi, Kunde as well as Casado and Pedri were remaining the last 6 lines, and in the midfield they had just Lopez hovering around. And just look at the line, how high they were at their center back. This is the position where most of the times Barcelona were looking, because yes, Company is having those aggressive tactics in the attacks, and Hansi Flick had just stuck to this setup where they were going to press too high to compress the fields. And at many times I was just wondering which side which team is playing. Here looking at Gnabry and Harry Kane, most of the times they were looking off the line, and this offside trap from Hansi Flick was quite lethal. So this was that first early chance of goal which was looking for Rafinha in this game, where things suddenly started looking so lethal. This is the build-up where Balde had that pass from Martinez, and he just gives it to Lewandowski, who had a drop down. Just look at Kim Min-jae, the position of him where he is going to press Lewandowski, but ultimately Lewandowski has a fall to the ground, and it was Pedri. But the movement of Pelina, the number 16 for Bayern, who is new to the squad, he just couldn't get the hold of this game right at this moment. And Pedri, with that, only two men of Barcelona against two of Bayern was there in the lineup, whereas Upamecano and Kimmich were there marking for both of these Barcelona players, whereas Fermin Lopez makes his move to that. Upamecano was also that aggressive, and he went on to tackle Lopez with that. But yes, Lopez had a just good turn around, and he had those martial turns activated in him, and Kimmich was nowhere there responding to the likes of Rafinha in this squad. But yes, talking about Upamecano, just look at his position, whom he is marking, and there were no likes of Rafinha going to get anything, because there was nothing left for the Bayern defense to overcome in it, as all of them were too high there also. And yes, it was just Manuel Neuer they had to avoid, and Rafinha, what a great form he is having in this game. But yes, Manuel Neuer's 3 goals in this game came too bad for it, and his performance is also being evaluated. But yes, talking about the second goal over here, where again left-footed pass from Lamine Yamal to Robert Lewandowski was there. But yes, that Kim Min-jae missed header. Many times Kim Min-jae has been seen playing for Bayern Munich, and he is chasing shadows everywhere in the game. Such a miss from the centre back is quite lethal, and his aggressiveness in the defensive aspects is giving the opponents many chances, because company is just sticking to those moments where they are getting goals with the aggressive lineups. But yes, at the defense they are not paying that much attention to it. But yes, this is the play style which Bayern loves to play despite having the possession. But yes, talking about Lamine Yamal, who had that air through ball in this, where Kim Min-jae was just outclassed, and Lewandowski had that to it, and that was that moment from Rafinha. Just look at this shot from Rafinha. He was in between Guerrero as well as Upamecano, but that shot was taken just in between the legs of Upamecano, who was trying to block the ball. So much of less space over there, but still Rafinha had that shot, and what a classic shot that was. Just look at it, guys. Here Manuel Neuer, who is 6 feet 4 inches, and this ball is just going into the far lines of the post, where Manuel Neuer couldn't just get a touch to it. And what a curl that was from Rafinha, just making it into the nets for the Barcelona, and that was a 2-goal lead. But yes, Harry Kane in between had 2 shots, one with the header which was declared offside, as well as there was a comeback goal in the 19 minutes which was one equalizer from Bayern. But yes, after this second goal, just look at this shot from Rafinha again, who was just shooting it in between the legs of Upamecano. I mean, Upamecano being there, Guerrero was also coming close to it, but that close air of space, that need of the hour was the goal. And Rafinha, in his tremendous form, was just outpassing Manuel Neuer with those far crosses and that beautiful curves. These outside curlers from Rafinha and his good form is definitely doing good for Barcelona, and Hansi Flick must be of praise for him. But yes, much praises for Lamine Yamal as well, because here again in the third goal, where Bayern was seen most of the times in with possessions, many shots on goal, whereas Pelina, Gnabry, Harry Kane as well as Thomas Muller had some shots to the goal. But yes, in this third goal making, just look at it, where Bayern lost the possession. Balde has got the ball, and Pedri was there in the defensive aspects most of the times, because Barcelona were down to just 6 men always most of the times in the build-ups. But yes, Pedri gives that to the far winger's position, and again that was a lofted through ball from Lamine Yamal. So Lamine Yamal has just overtaken Kim Min-jae in that assist prior to this goal, as well as over here he had overtaken Upamecano. Just look at the positioning of both of these centre backs. I mean, this goal was a masterclass through pass from Lamine Yamal to Upamecano, and that was Rafinha who had to speed away, where Upamecano was looking a bit down of energies, and after 3 goals he was just left with that again a classic from the low post to Manuel Neuer, where Manuel Neuer, who was not in best of his form, was looking quite bad in shape. But yes, talking about Manuel Neuer, he is a legendary goalkeeper. He is the GOAT, because many times at Allianz Arena I have seen him personally, where he is having those training sessions which are quite aggressive, and he is that goalkeeper. But yes, talking about in this game, he hasn't performed much well because some of these saves were expected because Barcelona just had few chances to goal and they converted him quite good, especially from Rafinha, who had a hat trick to his bag in it. So this was the third playmaking of the goal where Lamine Yamal gave that air lofted ball. Look at the positions of Kim Min-jae and Upamecano. They were two men with two. So most of the times the attacks of Barcelona, the Catalans were just numbered equally, but then also the pairing of Kim Min-jae and Upamecano were not looking that good against the likes of Rafinha, Fermin Lopez, Lewandowski or Lamine Yamal. But yes, Lamine Yamal was most of the time seen dropping down and giving those lofted passes, and it was the end result where Vincent Kompany had no say about it, and just to shake hands with the former Bayern Munich boss Hansi Flick, who has raised the team to glory against the Barcelona as well as in the Champions League, as well as the team in chef winning the World Cup with Joachim Low as the manager for him, where Hansi Flick was his assistant. So it was all about this match, and definitely Barcelona are doing too good. We will have a detailed analysis of all the UEFA Champions League matches. Do stay tuned to it, and definitely do give us a like, do share, do subscribe. But yes, Barcelona fans, mark this date, 24/10/2024. This is the Halloween night which the Bayern Munich fans must be facing, as well as we will need to have a comeback to this Champions League because Bayern are facing 2 losses out of their 3 games and they are down to the 21st position of the Champions League table. So yes, stay tuned, keep goaling. Bye bye.